Good morning. My name is George Athanassakos, and I'd like to welcome you to Ben Graham Center's 2019 Value Investing Conference. Thank you very much for joining us, and I hope you enjoy the conference. As many of you know, I hold the Ben Graham Chair in Value Investing. The chair was endowed by Mr. Prem Watsa of Fairfax Financial, who's going to join us in a minute. My mandate has been to develop an academic program in value investing and spread the word of value investing to academics and the public, because academics don't know much about value investing, and the public is somewhat confused about what value investing is all about. Over the last 14 years now, I developed the Ben Graham Center in Value Investing and a rigorous academic program in value investing at Ivey. In addition to developing value investing courses and carrying out research on value investing themes, we're also offering apprenticeships to our students through our Ivey Value Fund and organize events such as this one, a stock picking competition whose 2019 finalists are here today, an academic symposium that I run every May in Toronto, and a value investing seminar geared to professionals that I run every July, also here in Toronto. With this program, we're making history, as we're the first university in Canada to have developed a fully fledged academic program in value investing, and the second in the world after Columbia, where Ben Graham, the father of value investing, taught. At the same time, we're breaking new academic ground because we've taken a trade subject like value investing and we have elevated it into a rigorous academic program. In other words, we brought value investing and stock picking to academia, and this is big because academics have paid little attention to stock picking over the years. But I am a firm believer in stock picking. I think stock picking with the right process and the right temperament works. Now, in past conferences, I spoke extensively about the technical and more quantitative aspect of the value investing process, that is, screening stocks to find possibly undervalued stocks, stocks with low PE, low price to book, and then finding their intrinsic value, value them to find the intrinsic value. Now, these two steps of the process have been well documented in my speeches. Today, I'd like to discuss the softer, more qualitative aspect of the value investing process, the part that has to do with temperament and value investor character, because these are very important aspects of decision-making and for investing success. There is some anecdotal evidence of the importance of temperament in investing. For example, GMO's investing strategist, James Montier, says that value investors are contrarian, patient, disciplined, unconstrained, and skeptical. And famed value investor Warren Buffett says that his successor has to have the right temperament and a keen understanding of both human and institutional biases. But don't all successful investors share the same traits? And how do value investors differ from others who follow different investing style? I want to develop a less anecdotal, a more formal and systematic understanding of the character strengths and virtues that embody value investors. A few years ago, I interviewed 19 successful value investors here in Canada and the US and found overwhelming support for the importance of character in value investing. One of the questions I asked was, how different are value investors from others? Interviewees felt that value investors are low-key, not necessarily antisocial, but asocial. They are contrarian, patient, disciplined, and willing to do things out of the ordinary. Humility, integrity, and independence are also very important. But also interviewees felt that genetics play a key role, as well as family upbringing. But they felt that character has been honed in the right environment. It is difficult to teach the behavior as it is not an attribute of someone's IQ. It's more a frame of mind in making decisions. If you got the right frame of mind, everything falls into place. And so interviewees felt that value investing is closer to being a profession rather than, whereas running a money management firm is a business. In a more recent study, I want to go further. And I want particularly to look at the question of the difference between value investors and others. And I want to compare value investors and others as opposed to just talking to value investors and assuming what they're telling me is different from what others would have told me. I surveyed two groups of investors, of people. One group was the attendees of the Ben Graham Sanders 2017 Value Investing Conference. Some of you may have done the survey. Attendees at the conference pay a good amount of money to attend and listen to value investors speak about their philosophies and how they put into practice. So one has to assume that this group are mostly value investors, or at least people who are very receptive to the value investing philosophy. The other group of investors, people I approached, was through a company that runs surveys for a fee. I asked them to survey people who work in the financial sector and who own a personal trading account. Now, as value investors are a small percentage of the population, according to Warren Buffett, I assume that this group of investors are mostly non-value investors. To keep the survey short, I used an abbreviated questionnaire of personality that focused on the belief that there are 5 basic dimensions of personality, referred to as the big 5 personality traits, and that personality characteristics that are important in people's lives eventually become part of their narrative. The big 5 traits described by, or the personality traits described by big 5 are extraversion, that is outgoing, energetic versus solitary and reserved, agreeableness, friendly and compassionate versus challenging and detached, openness to experience, inventive, curious versus consistent, cautious, a conscientiousness, efficient, organized versus easygoing and careless, neuroticism, sensitive, nervous versus secure and confident. Now, it is true that the attendees at the conference answered a much longer questionnaire, but part of it was included included the big 5 questions, which are then extracted for the study. Now, what I found was that in general and on average, the response from the two groups were very similar, in the sense that there were no statistical differences between the two groups' answers. One area with some difference was that value investors tend to be more conscientious than others. However, in my opinion, the most interesting finding of the study was the magnitude of the dispersion in answers. Value investor answers were grouped within a very narrow range, whereas the other group answers spread out more widely. That is, value investors tend to have a greater similarity in beliefs than others. And this is consistent with what Mr. Buffett likes to say, that either you get value investing right away or not, and if not, there is nothing one can tell you that you can get it. It's also consistent with what I found when I interviewed these 19 value investors, who said that value investing seems to be closer to a profession, whereas running a money management firm is a business. So research in this area is ongoing, so stay tuned for the next time we meet.